Look at the beauty of Salmon River as we continue to hike along. We're here on Salmon River West, here in Salmon Huckleberry Wilderness of Mount Hood National Forest. Today is May 11th, 2022. It is spring. Because of low elevation of this hike, this has actually been accessible for a month or two, maybe even into February, depending on the snow a given year. So if you're looking for an end of winter, early spring, or mid-spring hike, this is definitely one that you could put on your list in the Mount Hood area. A lot of different ways to approach it. Technically, there's somewhere between 20 and 30 miles of hikeable trail along this National Wild and Scenic Salmon River. I'm not necessarily looking to do that today. I do think you might get diminishing returns the farther down you go. It's less developed and farther away from the river. So I've got three options today, and I'm a fan of contingency planning, so I never pre-commit myself to something. I can do what's called the short option, which is 7.5 miles. It's kind of probably the most common option, a natural turnaround point in the trail. I can do what I'm going to call the medium option, which is going a little farther to a place called Goat Creek Camp, which is a little over 9 miles. Or I can go to the Kinsel Lake Junction, which takes you up to Devil's Tooth and Devil's Peak, and that is about 11.2 miles. So 7.5, a little over 9, or 11.2. I'm inclined to do the 11.2, because I almost always like going the farther the better, but I'll let trail conditions and things I see on the trail play a big role in the decision. If I get to a area where it's all down logs, maybe I'll turn around if I'm not in an obstacle course type mood, but we'll see. So I think part of the fun of wilderness adventuring is not necessarily even having something set in your mind, more like contingency, A, B, C, etc., and let the conditions on the ground decide your plan. Gosh, I love these big old trees. This is a old growth rainforest. A lot of Douglas fir. Let me scroll over here. Give you a good shot of National Wild Scenic River, Salmon River. Oregon's famous for its Douglas firs, kind of the Douglas fir capital of the United States. A lot of really old growth trees. Mount Hood National Forest, and where we're at now, which is actually an offshoot of the national forest called Salmon Huckleberry Wilderness. Different laws governing this particular section. Is all very old growth, very rainforesty ecological footprint. You see from the mossy trees, heavy precipitation area. We're a little bit below Government Camp. Government Camp is kind of the base camp for Mount Hood, kind of a snowy area, but we're a few thousand feet below that, so the weather in Government Camp isn't necessarily the weather here. Let's stop and turn around. The incredible beauty of Salmon River. This is a national wild and scenic river here in the Salmon Huckleberry Wilderness of Mount Hood National Forest. This area is absolutely beautiful. The elevation starting point of this hike is 1,600 feet, and our high point is 2,600 feet. To give you an idea, Metolius River is 2,800 feet, so 200 feet higher than our high point of this hike. I was able to do that at the end of February, so this may have been accessible February, March. I'm almost a little late getting to it here May 11th, but not a lot of other hikes I can do in the area that I haven't done, so this is perfect. Got a little bit of water coming down. Beautiful. Minor cascading waterfall. Got good Lova boots on. I'm not too worried about getting my feet a little wet. Waterproof boots. Look at that. Pretty gorgeous. Kind of a different feel than some of my other river walks I've done recently. Done Metolius River, Deschutes River, White's Creek, all three of which being National Wild Scenic Rivers. Look at that. That is beautiful. This is my first one up in kind of northern Oregon, Mount Hood area this season. So it's definitely got a different feel. This is more of a true old growth forest area, proper rainforest. It's not a pinerific area, it's a old growth forest area. Fun fact about the state of Oregon, we're actually the river capital of the United States. As far as National Wild Scenic River, that is kind of the creme de la creme of the rivers. Something like somewhere between 1/4 and 1/2 of 1% of the rivers in the US have that designation. So you're talking upper 99th percentile of rivers. So as I said, this is my 5th National Wild and Scenic River I'm hiking by so far this spring. Well, that's a cool thing to experience. I guess I'm pretty fortunate to have such a bounty of river options in my backyard. Oh, this is so beautiful. This trail has a lot of overlook viewpoints of the beautiful Salmon River. Doesn't have a lot of shoreline feelings like maybe a Metolius River or even a Deschutes River. I think there's something about this area being so rocky. This trail is pretty darn rocky. You gotta watch your footing. And with the shoreline being pretty wild, the old growth feel, that we're probably not gonna get a lot of shoreline today, and that's okay. Experience shoreline in a lot of other places. Nonetheless, it's quite beautiful, just appreciating it for what it is. Classic old growth forest, rainforest, with a beautiful National Wild Scenic River raging beneath it. We're hiking here on the Salmon River West Trail, here in the Salmon Huckleberry Wilderness area of Mount Hood, and look at the mighty Salmon River. This is a National Wild and Scenic River. You can pan down and show off the flow of this incredible river. My gosh, this area is beautiful.